So in this video, we're going to talk about how to make a shapefile. So what is a shapefile? It's a type of vector information or geometric information that has location as well as attribute of different GIS products. So there's a couple different ways that we can make a shapefile. One is to simply click this tool here. Second is to go up to Layer, Create Layer, and then New Shapefile Layer. So that opens this window, and we need to fill out some of the information here. So file name. So we want to save it in this Ciala folder where we've been saving everything. And let's make a shapefile where we map roads. So we'll call it Bainbridge roads. And it'll be Bainbridge roads.shape or SHP. So we say save. And then the next important information is geometry type. For most of this project, we'll be looking at lines. This window here is the CRS or coordinate reference system. We have typical WGS 84. We have the project coordinate reference system. So this is the coordinate reference system of the data that we've already uploaded. And then we have this default option here, which is also this WGS 84. So typically, I like to use the reference system that we already have data in. So we'll choose that. And then we can add fields or attributes. So the first one here listed is ID, and this typically will start at 1 and we'll count up as we would map each additional road. So we want to add another one, say paved, yes or no. We have the options of text data, whole number, decimal, or date. For this, we'll add text, so it'll be a comment. Length, maximum length here is 80 characters. For paved, that's fine, but if we're writing a geologic description, then we might want to make this length be a little bit longer. So then critical is to click add to fields list. So then we see that we have this ID and paved here with varying type and length. So we click OK. And then we see down here we have Bainbridge roads. So let's start mapping. We'll just pick this road here. Start mapping, we want to click on the shapefile, click this pencil tool, and then click this add line feature. And then we can just start very simply adding or marking the location of the road. Now, of course, when we're mapping faults for the project in this class, we'll want to do this more carefully, but this video is focusing on just how to make these different shapefiles. So now we're getting to the end. So we see the end of our picture, not to the end of the road. So to move further to the west, on a Windows, we would click the middle button on the mouse, and then that just lets the window slide and we can continue mapping. So when we're done, do the right click, and that then opens up this window here. So ID, this is the first road we mapped. So we can put a 1, paved, I don't actually know. So let's leave that blank, or we can leave it as null and say OK. Now this road here, it's actually kind of hard to see. So let's make it a little bit bigger. So we can double click on the road, and then that opens up this window here. And we have the option to change the symbology. So let's pick a better color. Say blue. So old, current, OK. And So 0.26, very thin, it's hard to see. In fact, it's much smaller than the width of the road. So let's make it a little bigger. Let's make it close, make it say 1.5. Can just look at apply. So this looks much better, it's clearer to see, and it better matches the actual width of the road, so it's more representative of what we are mapping. Say OK. And if we right click on this, then we can get the attribute table. So we can see here for this fault 1 and paved. And then we can actually change these different parameters or these attributes as we continue mapping, and perhaps refine the how we want to, what attributes we want to associate with each individual line in the shapefile. As we map, one important thing to pay attention to is the scale here. So far I've been mapping at a scale of about 1 to 3400. And once you find a good mapping scale that you like, which will likely apply to a particular data set, you do want to consistently map at that scale. And in the end, ultimately remember the scale that you picked for the mapping. So that is the video on how to create and then start mapping a shapefile in QGIS.